going to something you guys said, I think it was last Wednesday. I think Rob had made some kind of comment, paraphrasing, that all it would have taken would have been an animal sacrifice. There would have been then no reason to have God's Son be sacrificed. My only problem with it, I agree with that it was the necessary sacrifice, but wasn't that because that's how God made it? That was the system that he created, so he could have created whatever system for atonement, for redemption. That was all up to his creation. If he had wanted it to be just an animal sacrifice, that would have been sufficient, because that would have been the system that he created.
Nope. I am going to strongly disagree. I appreciate the comment and the question, and Matt, thank you for calling in and asking it. I think it's a really, really good question. The reason why it's such a good question is because I think that the majority of people, even those who are well educated in theology, oftentimes think this. This goes back to a philosophical question in my mind. This is immediately when I heard him ask this on the phone, on the comment line, I thought, okay, well, this goes back to a philosophical question. And the philosophical question that is asked is, can God create a rock that is too heavy for God to pick up? Now, whether or not you're going to say yes or no to that, in other words, can God do that? And this is kind of the same question, because I think that the answer is somewhat yes. God cannot create something or do something, implement something that goes against who he is. What I mean by that is God is infinitely holy. Now, this is going to get into the D of the Messiah as well. God is infinitely holy. Anytime we have a transgression of any amount, if we are in covenant relationship with him, then that would, for him to continue to be in covenant relationship with us, it would diminish his holiness. And that would diminish who God is. That would make God not who he is. God is infinitely holy, and God cannot commune in covenant relationship with something that is not holy. That would diminish his holiness. And so to be able to rectify that, you have to have a payment that is eternal. And this question that Matt brings up is a great question for those who deny the deity of Christ. If Christ is not eternal in both directions, then why didn't God just say, all right, once a year, get a giraffe? And Matt actually brings up, like, he could have made a white giraffe that you sacrifice once every, 500 years. Okay, yeah, Matt's right. If the sacrifice didn't have to be eternal in both ways, go out, get yourself a giraffe once a year, bring it back, splatter the blood of this innocent animal on the altar, and it would pay for it, right? But it doesn't. Why doesn't it? The giraffe hasn't sinned, so in terms of perfection, in terms of sinlessness, the animal, or whatever you want to use in that metaphor, the animal is going to be sufficient for that. So why doesn't it pay for sins? Because it's not eternal in both directions, and God's holiness is. And any mark against his infinite holiness is an infinite transgression. And therefore you need an infinite payment to pay for it. And therefore the only thing that can pay for sin is God himself. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button, and check out more videos from Messiah Matters.